Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should join our Discord server or become patrons over on Patreon. So today, we are talking about, some fan favorites, I suppose. Ren and Nora. Alright. So people brought up this, and I was gonna do a video on it, or we were gonna talk about it during the analysis, but I wanted to do a video on it, which you guys are seeing right now, obviously. So, Nora can obviously take in electricity. I feel like that much electricity that Hazel has right now may be a bit of an issue for her, but people were bringing up that Nora can absorb the electricity and kind of spit it back out, and that she should probably be the one to be fighting Hazel. And so here's my prediction on that for basically the next episode, is that I think that Ren will try to handle Hazel, and then Nora will come over to assist him when Weiss is feeling a little better, and they can sort of cover themselves, so to speak. And so they'll basically sort of switch places and tag team. So here's what I was thinking. So obviously Nora can suck in the electricity and kind of, you know, Hazel's no big deal after that, right? And so here's the other thing, though. So Ren's semblance masks negative emotions, which aids him in avoiding detection by the Grimm, obviously. His semblance activated, and soon after, he becomes calm and rush to help Nora with no interference by the nearby Grimm. So basically, it looks like that not only do they seem to mask, but Ren becomes calm right after, and so that reads to me as a suppression. We don't have a confirmation on that. Like, Ren could have just calmed down because he knew that the Grimm couldn't see him anymore, but let's say for the sake of this argument that it also calms him down, since it does say that after his semblance is activated, he does become calm and everything. And so Ren can also channel this ability through the ground to reach those from a distance. And so I feel like that, in regards to this, so I feel like two things that they can do. They can have it so, I don't know how to explain this properly necessarily. So have it so that Nora absorbs the electricity and they start fighting Hazel, but then Ren gets close enough to try to suppress Hazel's emotions and calm him down about his sister, because really that is what Hazel is angry about. Like, Hazel is mad because he wants revenge for his sister, so if Ren can try to suppress those negative emotions and calm him down and they can actually have a talk with him, I think that would be super interesting, because then you are utilizing, because that's basically what Hazel is right now. He is a giant mass of thunder, which is easy for Nora to take care of, and a giant, like, mass of negative emotions, which is easy for Ren to take care of. Like, they basically have this in the bag if they decide to do that this way. You understand what I mean? Yes. And so I feel like that Ren and Nora should, instead of trying to, because they said we don't wish to fight each other, you know, instead of fighting, like, Nora at least to take up the thunder so he's not hurting anyone anymore, and then Ren to use his semblance to try to calm him down if that is indeed something that happens to everyone after he uses his semblance, like, to try to just subdue him instead of killing him, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is the way that Ren would do things, because Ren said that they don't want to fight, like, and Nora said that too, like, nobody has to die today, as Hazel said, you know what I mean? And so I feel like this is a great way to kind of showcase that Ren and Nora can resolve conflict without violence, and whereas Ozpin was like, no, like, I'll fight him, like, no, you don't need to fight him, you just need to calm him down.
Are we going back to the Ozpin bashing?
No. I'm just bringing that up as an example, like, because Ozpin thought that there was two options, run or fight, but something that Oscar was trying to get at was, like, there could have been a discussion about this.
I don't think that's part of it. I think that was more Oscar being like, no, Dad, let me do it.
No, but Oscar said that, like, that was trying to talk to Hazel, right? Because Hazel, he was trying to say, like, did she know the risk? Like, did she know the risk of becoming, like, he was trying to communicate. Like, he was trying to talk to him, remember? Okay. Like, did your sister know the risk? Did she know the risk of becoming a huntress? Like that. Do you remember that happened?
I don't remember that happened.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. So, yeah, that did happen.
Unlike you, I can remember, like, you know, important moments of my life, but I don't have an eidetic memory of a RWBY episode.
So, you understand what I mean? And so when...
But also, by that time, the talking seemed to have stopped, and he seemed to be more about fighting. But
well, yeah, but now with Ren, they can try to talk things out again, or at least they can try to calm him down, right? And that Ren can kind of explain, like, listen, like, I lost people too, but this isn't, like, you don't have to do this, like, you don't have to work with them, like, because then he'll be using a semblance on him, and Hazel will be able to think of him more rationally, You know what I mean? And so I think that this is a very good, like, alternative. Because, again, it shows us, like, not everything has to be resolved with fighting. Now, Emerald and Mercury, I don't think are as, sympathetic or as easy to kind of suppress like that, because if you guys are like, but Cal, you said for RWBY to kick some ass last episode. Yeah, kick their ass, but Hazel's ass is still in its prime. Like, we can still handle Hazel's ass.
You hate Ozpin and you love Hazel.
I like Hazel. He's a good bean. He's a good egg. Alright? Anyways. So yeah, that's basically kind of all I wanted to talk about. So Hunter, what do you think about that in terms of how that helps with Ren and Nora's development? Because they haven't gotten a lot of showcase.
I don't think it's really development so much. I mean, I guess it's that they have an ability to, like, strategize.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, like, deep character development.
I mean, it's not deep, but it's a little bit.
Maybe for Nora, who was more like, let's break their leg.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, again, Nora said, we will fight you, though, if you're with her, right? And so I feel like that line already kind of developed her a bit. Like, we haven't seen them a lot this volume, and so I feel like it would be very meaningful if the first time we see them, they are, the first time we see them actually handling someone, they do it in their own way instead of just knocking people out. You know what I mean? That they're able to kind of reason with Hazel, and then maybe Hazel goes, like, against Adam, but not necessarily against Salem. Like, Hazel just fucks off and is like, you know, they're able to kind of, like, go through it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they can magically fix Hazel's grief about his sister. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say, but maybe they can make Hazel see that killing Ozpin won't bring his sister back. Like, he should try to do something else. To kind of get, like, to avenge his sister, if he really has to avenge her. And one of the ways he can do that is by defeating the Grimm and becoming a huntsman himself, and by going against people that threaten huntsmen to an extent, you know what I mean? And so I don't want them, like, Hazel to be like, yes, you realize that the grief for my sister I had for the past 10 years was stupid. Like, no, like, I don't want them to do that. I want them to make Hazel realize that, yes, he can be mad, but maybe Ozpin isn't the proper target. Like, kill some people that can permanently die. You know what I mean? Instead of, like, trying to kill Ozpin over and over and over again. Like, that doesn't permanently have any solution. At least, that would be my logic anyway. You know what I'm saying, Hunter? Sure. Because, like, if he kills the Grimm, we don't really know what happens, but at least they're gone. Or if he kills people that threaten huntsmen like bandits, at least, you know, those people are permanently gone and you don't need to worry about them anymore. Like, at least go on a good crusade if you were going to crusade.
Although, it makes me wonder what exactly Salem's, like, cell is, because...
I think her cell is that, hey, you can kill Ozpin, and all you want to do is kill Ozpin.
Or maybe, like, you can kill Ozpin also in this world. We won't have huntsmen. The Grimm will rule everything. I will bring, like, peace through strength. Yeah. Is what I imagine Salem's pitch is.
Because I feel like she's not, because everybody's like she's trying to take over humanity, and I don't think that's exactly what she's doing. At least she hasn't said that. Like, I feel like killing Ozpin is on her list of things to do, and the only way that she can do that is...
he's the immortal person going against him.
Yeah, and so I feel like that... Like, one of the things that can do, like, getting all the relics would help her do that. But I think that really what she wants to do is going back to the old gods, that they had a balance of light and darkness, right? That they had a balance of Grimm and human, you know what I mean? But now you have human, Silver Eyes, maidens, and the Grimm are outnumbered. Like, I feel like that Salem is someone that would want to restore the original balance of light and darkness, because instead of just snuffing out the darkness, you can have both of them and they can coexist. You understand what I mean?
And practically, what would that look like?
Like, no magic. Like, no people that can turn into birds, no people that can regenerate, no people with special Silver Eyes power that are meant to strike the Grimm down. Like, that's cheating. So, like, when you think about what the Light and Dark God were trying to do, it was to try to make something, like, together. You know what I mean? And, like, not to try to, like, work against each other anymore. By making Silver Eyes and giving, like, extra points to the team of light, quote unquote, like, you're interrupting the balance. Like, I feel like that Salem wants to bring that balance back, and that may have been what Ozpin and Salem, remember we talked about this in the video about their origins, that maybe, like, Ozpin and Salem were tasked with the responsibility with keeping balance in the world, but then Ozpin kind of took advantage of that and has made the light too unbalanced for the darkness, and so Salem is trying to restore that balance, right?
Sure.
And just at least give the Grimm, like, fair numbers again. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean, like, the Grimm overtaking humanity or anything. It just means, like, listen, Ozpin, like, you made all of this stuff to help the light team, and it's not balanced.
You want to make Salem really, redeemable, and you want to make Ozpin a shithead.
It's not that. Like, I'm not saying Ozpin's a shithead, because obviously, if you could stop the world from having darkness, Hunter, like, wouldn't you do that? Like, if you could say that there would be no more pain in this world or suffering, like, wouldn't you try to do that?
Sure.
And so that's what I'm saying. And so like, obviously we'd all try to do that. Like, I'm not saying that that's wrong. Like, I think that's what Ozpin was trying to do. Because he saw, like, well, the gods are gone. Well, like, why do we need to keep the balance if we can just make everybody happy by getting rid of the Grimm? But, like, I feel like after 1,000 years of doing that, like, he should realize that darkness and light need to coexist together. That the Grimm and humans need to coexist together, and he should stop, like, pulling things out of his ass in order to make light try to win, and, like, you know, the Grimm disappear.
I feel like you're kind of trying to make Salem too neutral. Like, oh, nope, they're done. I'm gonna stop, like, you know, advances of my Grimm warring against humans.
Well,
at the end
I feel
of the day,
like she doesn't have advances of Grimm, like, roaring against humans, you know? Like,
she kinda does!
To break the school down, they were kind of necessary, but here there's not any, like, Grimm coming, it's just people. People killing each other.
I feel like the Grimm, also giant Grimm dragons.
And that doesn't make Salem neutral, that makes her more like she's following the guidelines that the gods sent out for her, and then Ozpin is just not.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, she does also get Grimm dragons.
Well,
but I digress.
The gods may have made those before they left. But, like, here's the thing. Like, we all want to... If we could be like, there would be no more suffering in the world, like, would we do that if we could? But the thing is that... And I know this sounds, like, really dumb or whatever, but, like, to realize that you have happiness, you also need to go through struggle. Like, to erase all the pain in this world is not the solution to that.
Well, just making sure there's giant monsters that are gonna eat you doesn't mean you're gonna get a bad grade on a test and stub your toe.
Well, that's
you know?
that's what the gods seem to have intended, at least. That they wanted there was something in the middle.
You don't know how great cheesecake is until you've been locked in a city under siege.
Oh my god, Hunter.
I'm just saying, you know.
You understand what I mean?
Sure,
and so
no,
that's what I think they're trying to sell. And so that's why I think that in the end this does connect back to Hazel, Ren, and Nora, because they are trying to kind of redirect Hazel's anger into a more balanced place. Like, instead of just killing Ozpin over and over again, kill the people that have actually done Huntsman wrong, to honor your sister's memory and all that stuff. And that, I feel like, is more balanced than being, good or evil, if that makes sense. Because, having a hit list where you're killing all the people that threaten Huntsman is different than having one where you're killing this, like, one guy over and over again and not really helping anyone. Like, if he has to kill people, he may as well do it usefully. You know what I'm saying? Why are you frowning like that?
Nothing. I just realized that I beat the entire game. I've been through every mission.
I know, it's getting boring, isn't it? That's why we need Blaze Blue Fight Club or whatever it's called. So yeah, I know we got kind of distracted with what Salem is selling, but I feel like that is what she's selling, to dismantle the institutions of the schools, to get rid of magic and all of that stuff. And Hazel's just like, yeah, okay, like, I want to get rid of them too, because they haven't really helped anyone, like, as far as my sister goes, and they're killing more kids and, like, all of this stuff, right? And maybe it's not even just getting rid of them, but just rebuilding them so there is an understanding of the balance of the, you know, it's a circle of life stuff. You know what I mean, Hunter? Like, you can't just, like, get rid of the, like all of the lions because they eat the antelope. Like, the lions, like, serve a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, overpopulation. The ecosystem. Like, that's basically, I feel like what Ozpin is threatening is the natural ecosystem of this world, because if it was just supposed to be gods, humans and animals and shit, then you're bringing in, like, these people that can just strike down Grimm with a single glance. Like, that's not balanced. That's not helping anyone, you know what I mean? And so there you go. That's it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video that was about Ren and Nora, but then we started arguing about Salem again, I guess. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you later. Bye, guys!